And then at number 7, though, I went with Rico Bussey Jr. I love his name, man. Love it. Can't help it. Maybe it's because of the song. Bussey. But I like Rico. I think he's, a good combat catch guy. Not a blazer, though. I would have liked to see him be faster. Every time I watch him, I was kind of like, I feel like you're supposed to have a little extra gear. He reminds me of, though, it was a receiver that we had here. He was on the practice squad for a couple of years. Marcus Tucker, that was his name. He was a small school out of Michigan. Played in the CFL for a little while after that, but watching him, he reminded me of him. Just like can make some good catches here and there, but not the blazing speed that I would want from him.
For sure.
But still a good player. I just don't think it's going to translate to him being able to consistently do it on Sundays. I think that if he was your third receiver and you're using him in that role, or your fourth guy, you get him a better matchup, sure. But as a whole, I don't expect a lot from Rico going obviously into this next season, man, which is why I have him at 7.
No, and especially if you're so much higher on the dude from Kent State, man. So what room is he gonna find? And then I'm looking at the stats. I said this to you before we started recording. I'm like, dude, he went to Hawaii. He's got 274 yards and 1 touchdown. I know he had some good seasons with North Texas, but I think you mentioned something weird was going on with their offense, but I would like a little bit more production if we're bringing you in and we're thinking, oh, man, this guy could be on the roster at some point.
Well, I agree. The North Texas tape, like I said, it was super productive, but he wasn't pulling away from guys. If you're not pulling away from guys at North Texas, no offense to that level, but it's just like you would expect him to be able to pull away from those guys that you don't think they're going to have the best of athletes, right? And then to see him go to Hawaii, and granted, it was him and the other, I forgot the other receiver's name, but they were pretty much tied for, receptions. Both had around 30 receptions. Both had around that 270 to 300 yards receiving. Both had 1 touchdown receiving. But the running back actually had like the most catches, touchdowns, yard. Like, I don't know how they were doing it. Watching the quarterback, he looked limited. So I said maybe that's a part of it. But as a whole, I just don't think that Rico is going to move the needle like that this year.